threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Oh, yeah. Oh. How much money you got, Cameron?
Not enough.
Not enough. Welcome to the podcast. And,
Still got a little cold throat.
I do. I got a little bit of something going on. Just getting rid of this corona. Sit over there.
I'm podcasting.
I'm like 90% sure it's not corona. It's just
Yeah.
a sinus thing. But anyways, I'm here for you guys. For all of you at home, I made it in today.
Good job.
Yeah.
You sound thick, but that's okay.
Sound thick, but I'm still here. So, Cameron, what are we talking about on today's podcast?
I think it's an interesting subject, but
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know about you listeners.
Yeah.
Pointing at the camera. Talking about like the uber rich,
Yeah.
the rich preppers, mega rich preppers.
Like the ones that have a lot of money, not just like some money.
Not like
They got
they
cash.
can buy a nice Hummer.
Yeah.
The ones that can buy a whole
that
freaking
can buy the Hummer factory.
hectares over in
Yes.
New Zealand and all
Yeah.
that.
And talking about
Pretty interesting stuff because
Oh.
there's companies that help
Yeah.
like develop this stuff. And
it's nuts.
anyways, if you have money, this is the episode for you. If you
Yeah.
don't, it's still
You're
interesting.
looking to make some big purchases? We might give you some ideas.
Yeah, tax refunds coming in.
Exactly.
You can buy a whole
Yeah.
section of New Zealand.
Uh-huh. Cam, did you know that most subscription boxes are full of samples and junk you'll never use? But not Battle Box. It's the monthly subscription box for all the peoples, full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, Battle Box sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor, survival, and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you normally pay. You never know what's in the next box. But here's a sampling of what users will receive this month. The boxes are going out right now. Adventure Medical Kits Tri-Oral Rehydration Salts.
Ooh.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we've talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Not
those
these
ones.
exact ones, but we've talked about them. Or the Revolt Knives Raptor Survival Neck Knife.
Whoa.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's a knife you wear around your neck.
Just slit necks.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it's for.
Freaking cool.
Yeah, all this badassness starts at just $30 a month. You don't have to be uber rich to get Battle Box.
No, you don't.
They've shipped over 1 million boxes, and they won Best Men's Subscription Box.
I already got it.
That was so immediate. Our listeners get a free tactical knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers.
I thought I'd hide it, but I was like, screw it.
Just let it go. At least it's not like when my dad sneezes.
People already are like using hand sanitizer.
Ugh, my ears are gross. I gotta wipe off
Pretty
my
sure I
ears.
got sick from that.
Get your first battle box plus a free knife at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers.
Go freaking do it.
Get it.
Listener reviews starts now.
Yep.
Came for preps, stayed for humor.
Mm-hmm.
Exclamation, exclamation.
Yep.
5 stars. Stumbled upon your podcast. I was looking for prepping info, subscribed instantly,
Bam.
as I quickly was drawn to how you made a serious topic fun and humorous.
That's right.
Keep killing it.
All right.
P.S.
Huh?
Y'all know how much calibers I got? Ask me, but I won't answer because I'm in the bath with my gun. Cool.
Yeah.
CL Smooth.
Smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get the E at the end.
Smoothie.
It's like easy. Anyways, thank you. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, go to the Kindle book on Amazon, leave us a 5-star review. Make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
So,
I'll just go with what everybody's hearing.
Okay,
about right
go
now,
ahead,
real
sure.
quick.
Yeah.
Texas grid.
Oh.
Minutes from failing. I think it basically did, didn't it?
it's a mess down
Well,
there.
it was minutes from failing.
Sure.
Winter storm, lengthy cold snap have crippled.
Oh, snap.
Lengthy cold snap have crippled power facilities in Texas, caused about 2.3 million outages
Ooh.
as of Wednesday evening, leaving residents in the cold and dark for several hours.
Not good.
This is big city stuff. You know, it's Texas.
Yeah.
You know, It's
exactly.
Like this is a heartland.
That's right.
But, you know, to have this, like, massive, unexpected emergency,
Yeah.
like, pretty devastating. Another one of those, like, wake-up reminders is like,
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, like, this could happen at any second in an area that doesn't have this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, it's also a reminder that you got to go through your threat assessments, like what are the most likely things to happen, but you also have to prep for things that maybe you wouldn't
really
think would
unexpected,
happen.
yeah.
They're not worried too much about ice storms and blizzards down there until they are. Right? So, yeah.
But it's like, a lot of the standard prepping for, a volcano.
Yeah.
You're going to have
Yeah.
a lot of the same stuff that's going to make your life a lot easier. If you planned for the second pandemic or stocked up during the pandemic, you probably wouldn't be bothered as much by this.
Exactly.
But people are dumb and they don't listen.
And now they're having a lot of water issues down there. There's like nobody's getting water, and there's boil orders and all this kind of stuff happening, and they're in a mess.
Yeah,
dude, like a huge mess. I feel bad for them.
It's because they're a Republican state.
That's right. This one happened last week, I believe. The headline reads, hackers tampered with a water treatment facility in Florida by changing chemical levels.
I saw that.
How crazy is this,
dude? I
dude?
didn't read a lot into it, though, but I was like, oh, my gosh.
They got lucky. So hackers successfully infiltrated the computer system controlling a water treatment facility in the city of Oldsmar, Florida, according to a report from the Tampa Bay Times. In doing so, the hackers were able to remotely control a computer to change the chemical levels of the water supply, increasing the amount of sodium hydroxide before a supervisor was able to catch the act in real time and revert the changes.
Or did they?
Oh, yeah. You never know with people in Florida. Let's tell them we caught it and it didn't actually happen.
Oh, their containers are empty?
We just ran out. No
Might
biggie.
taste funny, but it's normal.
Yeah,
Just
just no
fluoride.
biggie. No biggie. So, anyways.
It goes a year's worth of poisonous fluoride.
Yeah, exactly. That should have taken 2 years to kill some babies. Now they're all going to die in like a day. You know?
But I'm like, for one, I was like, what are all the chemicals? I don't work at a chemical facility, so
Neither do I.
I'm like, what are they dumping in the water?
I don't know.
It's like multiple chemical that are like connected to a computer system.
I know. It's like you got to hit the
2
button.
ounces. Enter.
Like it's like when you go to
It's a little creepy.
when you go to Wendy's and you're getting your drink and out of that machine with the all the buttons. You know what I mean? Same thing.
Coke, orange flavoring,
Yeah.
pineapple drop. It's like all these different.
No, vanilla mist. You know what I mean?
There
So
goes all the freaking vanilla flavor.
yeah, so your water comes out tasting like Hawaiian punch in Florida now or
They'd
something.
love it.
I know. Woo! I'm moving to that county. Oldsmar, place to be.
It's like blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I know. It's Powerade. Okay.
Oh yeah, power.
Powerade. Anyways, crazy things are happening in the world, and that's one of them.
They weren't using Surfshark.
They weren't. If they should have.
Stupid water facility.
Exactly. If anybody's going to be using it, it should be somebody like
You
them.
would think so.
Oh, man. Anyways, so let's get into it, Cam. Let's talk about those folks that got lots of dough. I mean,
Yeah.
they got so much
Yeah.
money, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, so
But they go to McDonald's for every meal if they want.
they can't.
They got so much
Helicopter
freedom.
pad on top.
That's right.
Just fly right off.
Yep.
But yeah, I've seen these articles about it, and
Yeah.
even in the magazines, like some of the American Survival, they've had these little brief articles on like these mega rich people,
Yeah.
building these like immaculate, like these massive bunkers that are like
Insane.
lined out to a T, like
Yeah.
everything you'd want. And I was like, man, that would be sweet.
And it moves on from bunkers, too. It's not just bunkers.
No,
it's like
like
all
silos.
It's
and-
lots of crazy things that they're
Yeah.
doing.
So where why did they start getting into it? Why have the uber rich?
Is it 'cause of our
started
podcast?
to get in? It is.
I'm pretty sure they've been listening.
It all stems back
Mad Men
to,
World.
to 2013.
2016
Somebody
in June.
somebody happened to listen to Mad Men World,
Yeah.
freaked him out.
Mhm.
So probably one of the most common, one of the easiest to find reasons why a lot of them got into it goes back to basically a written article. Was it an article or a book?
It's actually a book.
So, and the obsession could be traced back to a single source, sort of kind of stemmed or kind of fueled this rich guy panic.
Yeah.
a 99 book called The Surveying Individual.
Sovereign.
Surveying. How to Survive and Thrive During the Collapse of the Welfare State. It was written by James Dale Davidson. You haven't read this one, have you?
I have not read this.
I'm kind of interested in it now.
Me too.
A private investment advisor and Lord Rees-Mogg.
Lord Rees-Mogg.
A British newspaper editor. So Peter Thiel, PayPal, Facebook billionaire, he's the one that kind of read this, got all freaked out and into prepping, and shared it with all of his super rich buddies.
So it's just funny because the very super rich, they have a different way of thinking.
For sure.
It's not the same way we would think. We would be like, well, we got to be able to survive in an apocalypse. He's like, well, how the hell do I make more money during the apocalypse?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. They have to think that way. It's what they've been thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So this book essentially, at its core, details civilization collapse, and it would give rise to the surviving cognitive elite, who would then rebuild a new world after idling, standby, and hiding as the existing way of life crumbled to pieces, which you can totally see that happening.
For sure, yeah.
And so, and this book also pinpointed New Zealand as a prime spot to hole up when the dust settled and all the fallout. This would be an ideal location, like a utopia.
Yeah.
So anyways, he kind of shared it with his buddies, and then there's a lot of reason that book was why a lot of the mega rich started getting into prepping. Also, super obsessed with Lord of the Rings. Peter Thiel.
Is. Yeah, so if you look at Peter Thiel and you see a bunch of his
Thiel?
Yeah, Peter Thiel. A bunch of his companies are named after names in Lord of the Rings. So he's got
really?
Yeah, he's got a company named Palantir, and apparently that's from Lord of the Rings.
Super obsessed.
I don't know Lord of the Rings that well.
I don't either.
But I just know that most of his, I don't think PayPal's from Palantir or from Lord of the Rings, but you know what I mean?
It is.
Lord PayPal of Mordor.
Wormwood PayPal.
Yeah.
Wormwood.
Yeah, so anyways,
that's probably the biggest, that's where it all kind of stemmed from. But
for sure.
Also, a lot of climate change, and rich people are totally into the climate change.
They love it. They love it. They hate it. Yes.
And I'm not going into that, but the recent wildfires, the floods, all the changes across the globe have made them kind of paranoid, and they have so much money.
What are they going to do with it?
They don't have anything to do with it.
No, yeah.
They can't buy enough stuff. And so they're just well, if I can buy, and who wouldn't want to buy a huge piece of New Zealand?
Jeez, I know that place looks amazing.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons too, is just, we're all kind of feeling that prepper fear.
Yeah.
Or being prepared, and that disaster fear. So it's pretty natural right now with all the chaos that they just want to be super prepared. So Elena Villalobos at WHO Climate Change and Health Program said the divide was not just between the developed and developing countries, but between rich and poor in the same country. It's not about polar bears. It's really about people suffering. She said, while the poor lack the resources to flee or protect themselves, the rich are starting to take action, mostly to protect themselves, Well,
for sure, yeah.
There's only so much you can do to help reverse what the rest of the world's doing to destroy the planet, So it's it's not fully 100% selfishness. It's it's something that they can do.
Yes.
And, you can't control everything. A lot of times you look at, why don't they use their money for the poor and the help? And they do a lot of that stuff too.
Sure.
But I know I would want to protect myself.
100%. I would be doing the same thing if I had that. Probably to even
so yeah,
more.
It kind of pisses you off only out of jealousy.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
Man, I wish I had all this too. And
yeah.
But, it's not that they're not or completely abandoning society. I'm sure there's some dickheads that are.
For sure, yeah.
But anyway.
Whatever, they can do whatever they want.
And then the civil unrest in the recent elections obviously puts a scare into the United States and the stability of the United States.
You were talking about New Zealand. Maybe you are going to talk about this later, but I did read that there was a lot of these elite, these uber rich people right around 2016 that started buying up land in New Zealand, right as Trump kind of came into office.
I think New Zealand kind of took a little, they started putting in a law where you can't take our land.
Yeah, you can't just come in here and start buying.
It would kind of piss me off if I was a native to New Zealand and seeing all these super rich come buy up lands that you can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I read some another like several other articles about some of the reasons, and this goes into a little more of the selfishness and like the aristocracy of they are wise and wealthy, and therefore they should be the rulers when the dust settles.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. Like the rich, they just think differently. It's not just about keeping themselves alive. It's like, well, we're going to be the rulers when
and money
everything
gets
stops.
you a long ways.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And they probably will.
Exactly.
They probably could be.
Because they have the resource now to put that kind of into place,
Right. So there is kind of that if you look into, what that means. And then another thing that I thought was interesting is talking about maybe a fear of democracy. So the calamity that the wealthy fear is democracy returning to the United States. Every tall tale they tell involves a specter of the mob. The tech preppers understand at a deep level that their ill-gotten gains are predicated on an unjust system. And that this was just an article I read, but it's kind of interesting to think that we have this like divide, It's like the uber rich, it's like the 1%. They're just like
it's even like the 1% of the 1%.
So ridiculously rich that it kind of, it's kind of frustrating and it's an unstable and in some ways an unjust system. So you worry about things that they could worry about things like a revolt against Silicon Valley and the AI takeover and pissing people off.
Especially if something happens, some sort of an apocalyptic situation that puts the people that don't have money even in a worse situation. And
then you look at history.
You look at these guys, and like these guys have bunkers, and like they're gonna be like, hell no, we're revolting against them. So that they're worried about, we got to get out of here somehow.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I was meaning on that. And so it's kind of like you look at like past history, Russian Revolution, French Revolution. It's like F these richies and the monarchy, and well, not necessarily only the monarchy, but the French wanted monarchy. But anyway, so it's just kind of an interesting take on it, is that they could be threatened more than other people
for sure
having these facilities and these locations, and so they're like, well, I'm gonna get as far away
I gotta
from
be careful
civilization, and I don't blame them one bit.
No, absolutely not.
So anyway, there's interesting things that kind of threw them into this interest of prepping.
So there is some information online about some of these people who have a lot of money and kind of what they're doing. Some of it's really basic, so we'll kind of go through some of these people. Some of them you may know who they are, some of them you may not, but it's interesting to kind of see like their line of thinking on how they're preparing and stuff like that. So one article talked to Reid Hoffman. He's a co-founder of LinkedIn. Says he thinks about 50% of all Silicon Valley billionaires have spent some money on apocalyptic insurance of some kind. So half of them have started buying up stuff like this. It's crazy. One of them is Steve.
Like I always say, I think preppers are smart.
Yeah.
And a smart person becoming a prepper, pretty smart.
Exactly. Even that much
They're not that dumb.
No. So you've heard of Reddit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cameron. Steve Huffman, he's the CEO, or maybe he was. I don't know if he still is, but
I think he still is.
He is a big prepper. And so he actually went out and got laser eye surgery because he was worried about having to find contacts and glasses.
Smart.
It makes sense.
Like,
to me, if I was that rich, I would have laser eye
piss.
surgery anyways. But like, why would you be dealing with glasses if you could go get laser eye surgery?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Why would you have waited?
But I guess it's a great thing to think about because in the apocalypse, good luck going getting your eyeglass prescription refilled. It's not going to happen. So he's like, I got to get laser eye surgery.
Standard optics.
No.
Probably not going to
work. He also stocked up on guns and ammo. He bought a bunch of extra food. Where it all stemmed from, which I think is so awesome, is he watched Deep Impact back in the 90s. I freaking love that movie. It was a great movie.
That one, Armageddon, same year.
Yeah, same year, man. That was a great year for apocalyptic cinema, for sure. So apparently, do you remember the scene, like, after everybody kind of found out, or I can't remember what it was, but you know when they're all stuck on the freeway?
And he gets on the motorcycle.
And he gets on the motorcycle. Exactly.
I remember that.
He started
freaking
freaking out.
I'm like, that's a good idea.
Yeah. That's where he started like, oh, crap, what am I going to do? And so he went and bought a bunch of motorcycles, specifically because of that scene in the movie. And that was actually filmed like near his high school or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so
I know that hill.
I don't know that hill.
I'm going to go straight.
I could get stuck. So he went and got a bunch of motorcycles.
These guys are all like in the heart of freaking California, the
Yes.
worst state in the planet.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be for sure.
But like trying to get out of that place,
Yeah, it's not gonna
you
be
can't
easy.
get in or out ever.
Yeah, so he's thought about these things. I just thought that was really cool. Another
That's funny. Deep Impact of all the movies.
I know. It's really funny. An anonymous head of another investment firm has a helicopter gassed up 24/7 waiting for him. And he also has an underground bunker with air filtration system. I don't know who this is. They didn't give any information.
Smart.
Super smart.
Anonymous.
And then Tim Chang. He's a Mayfield Fund managing director. We all know about this guy. I've never heard his name in my life. But anyways, he has like basically in California, he has a local group, a bunch of these rich preppers that get together every month and start talking about their prepping.
That's pretty sweet. I want to at least be included one time.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so cool.
Couldn't afford any of it.
So they talk about cryptocurrencies, like stocking up, like which ones to get and how that's going to help them. They talk about getting like second passports and vacation homes in other countries in case they need to escape from this country to another one. And he actually has bug out bags for him and his entire family.
That's
so
pretty impressive.
Dude's like a straight up prepper, right? Well done, old Timmy Chang. And then Marvin Lau, he's the former Yahoo executive. They probably don't even have executives over there anymore at Yahoo. 4 people use that site a year. But he has stocked up on food and water and is very concerned about keeping it safe. But this is so funny. He doesn't like guns, right? So he's learned archery. And he has a bunch of other weaponry to keep it all safe. I'm
so
like,
stupid.
Like you're such an idiot.
If you have a weapon
Oh
that you're planning possibly could have to be used against somebody, just get a gun.
I mean, it's great to know how to shoot a bow and have all these other things, but you're dumb if you think
What a
you're
weirdo.
You're gonna have a bow and
Yeah.
you're
There's
gonna
nothing
defend
wrong
yourself.
with having that as well.
Yeah.
But what better defense weapon is there than a freaking
He brings
gun?
out his compound bow.
You're like,
and
all right, buddy.
They got a bunch of M16s. What are you gonna do? You dum. Anyways,
Triple arrow.
yeah.
Split.
Yeah. Antonio Garcias Martinez, an ex-Facebook product manager, he lives in San Francisco, bought 5 acres on an island in the Pacific Northwest. His island features generators, solar panels, and weaponry. My guess is those are real weapons.
No.
And then our old friend Peter Thiel, we talked about him. He was a co-founder of PayPal. Hangs out with his buddy Elon Musk.
PayPal dudes.
Yeah, they made some dough, right? And he's got like 50 other companies that are all named Mordor and I don't know, whatever else. Orcs.
Middle Earth.
Middle Earth. I don't know. I don't know Lord of the Rings at all.
It's been a long time.
He owns 2 New Zealand properties, and he actually became a citizen in 2011.
Like super quick too.
Yeah. Well, you got that much money, you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Can I be a citizen? No. How's 2 million sound? You're a citizen.
It's more than that. He had to spend like a
No,
lot.
I mean to like get to be the citizen, just
Yeah.
the citizen.
They actually have a system in New Zealand now where you have to invest like up to like 9 million in.
Oh, really? They do.
In a bunch of stuff over a certain
That's how
period of time.
you can become a quick
Yeah.
citizen. Interesting.
So, anyways, according to the New Zealand Herald, Teal bought a Queenstown mansion in 2011. He turned one of the home's walk-in closets into a panic room. And in 2015, he bought an estate on Lake Wanaka, valued at around $10 million.
Jeez.
So
Too much money.
he's one of the big ones. He's kind of the whole.
He is.
He's the whole sort of the guy in the middle of all this. Peter Thiel is. He's a really interesting dude when it comes down to it. I've listened to him on a couple of podcasts. Super interesting. He's very libertarian, kind of like take care of yourself and all those types of things. But our friend James Cameron.
I didn't know this.
I didn't either. He directed obviously Titanic, Avatar, Aliens. He directed a bunch of, maybe it wasn't Aliens. Which one was it? It was one of those.
No, it was aliens.
Was it Aliens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bought 2,500 acres of land in New Zealand, reportedly moving there and intending to live.
Pretty sure he did.
It was the second Alien.
Was it the second?
Wasn't that
Because the
Aliens?
first one was yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're right.
I don't remember, but anyways, I mean, he's done lots of movies. James Cameron, Julian Robertson, a millionaire hotelier.
Cool.
He owns not 1 but 3 luxury estates in New Zealand. The land includes a remote mountain resort with multiple helicopter landing sites and working sheep and cow farms.
Good job.
He knows what he's doing. This one I just thought was interesting. Kim Kardashian.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. She took a photo recently with a Judy survival kit. These are these kind of like high-end survival kits. So she's a prepper.
Good.
So I don't know.
It's one we want to survive.
We definitely
and
need
lead
her.
our
Yeah. William Gates, we know him better as Bill Gates, is rumored to have bunkers under all of his personal estates. All of them. I guarantee he does. If he doesn't, it's crazy.
He could have some pretty sweet stuff, you know.
He totally
like
could.
if you go to type in and it just gives you a blue screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, piss.
Yep. So anyways, those are just a few of the super rich people that we know that are prepping. But man, it's crazy some of the stuff they do. And we're going to talk about like where are they going and what are some of the things they're buying and who are some of the companies that are actually helping them, right?
Yeah. So we've kind of started to mention some of the locations.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to briefly touch on these because a lot of the companies that are helping do this they're in these locations. So Colby will go into more detail, but obviously New Zealand is probably the top of the list of where just the uber rich are going because it really is. It's already a utopia. It's kind of one of those super well-rounded areas. You know, I personally think if I had a location, I'd probably go to somewhere like South America. It has everything. Like you spit a seed out and it grows a whole tree the next day. But it's a mess down there, and you'd be dealing with a lot of mess. And that's probably why New Zealand's better in terms of like.
Well,
less
I think it's the
population.
isolation.
It is.
I
It's
think
an
it's
island.
being an island. It's the location.
It does make more sense.
Yeah.
But
It's a long ways to get there for us.
That's what I was like. You've got to have a really good system. I don't even think there's still got to be. You've got to have points of refuel.
I think they said that there's actually
unless you
an
put
overnight
a
flight
jet would do it.
Yeah, an overnight flight from California can get you there.
But yeah, so interesting. And there's actually a company that specializes in this. We'll talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so New Zealand, obviously, its location, the terrain, the animals, the people. It's just a great place. And Lord of the Rings filmed there. Why would you not want to go to the Shire?
Exactly.
South Dakota, and Kobe will go more into why this little poo hole.
I know South Dakota.
South Dakota isn't that bad. If you're from South Dakota, okay, it's fine.
South Dakota's not bad at all. I've been there.
North Dakota's rough.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough place.
California, because why not? All the filthy rich, spoiled.
Yeah, like I don't know if
there.
they're there for
they probably don't live
prepping,
there.
But they're there because that's where their industry is a lot, and so that's
right. And it's like we always talk about bugging in. They've got to have some pretty fancy stuff.
We'll talk about
in
some
an area that they're in, and California being a huge area for these, uber rich tech people. So it's a good place. Texas, obviously, a lot of land, a lot of different companies.
Never
there.
Snows. Power's always on.
Right. And a lot of off the grid stuff. Even old George Bush.
Yeah,
it's got an off the grid, or self-sustaining place like.
Yeah, that's his place, man. That's where he grew up.
And then Rothenstein, Germany.
Rothenstein.
Europa 1, a big, huge bunker built into the mountainside, basically.
I was going to talk about that, but there's so many of these
They're all
bunkers.
very similar.
They're all very similar, yeah.
So anyways, but, I mean, all over the U.S., there's missile silo locations. There's one for sale in Arizona recently. They've had those missile silos just all over the place. I mean, Washington has them, and these are perfect locations, and there's tons of unused army bunkers that are being put into use.
A lot of people are getting those
onion sheds,
those old government facilities that were built during the Cold War and stuff, and they're retrofitting them. We're going to talk about some of that stuff.
So that's just kind of. But yeah, some of those top ones are where we hear most of these uber rich, but it's kind of just happening everywhere, and these locations are being bought up to be turned into
absolutely
pretty sick bunkers.
Oh,
but, COVID-19 not only has been a pain for all of us in every way possible, but we rely heavily on tech, our phones and computers. So cybercrime itself has been there's been a massive spike.
I hate cyber criminals.
Yep. And I mean, look at Florida.
Look at them.
Got its water almost messed up with all kinds of chemicals.
Yeah.
But, yourself, you can protect yourself. You. Surfshark VPN.
Yeah.
Private network can protect you and all your devices from online threats. You can go gray man online, shield your information from websites and other buttholes that are trying to hack into you. No longer worry about malware, phishing, obnoxious, and often unsafe ads or emails. And you can get notified even when your email is compromised or your password, which is super sweet. So not only does Surfshark protect you, but you can use it for entertainment. You can situate yourself from a server in the UK and watch their select Netflix library. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Pretty freaking cool. And guess what? If you use our code Casual Preppers, 83% off. 24 months plus 3 extra months. You get 27 freaking months for the price of 24 months. And 83% off. That's huge.
That's a lot of
basically free.
percentage.
It's $2.21 a month to protect you and every one of your devices online. It's stupid to not do it.
Yeah, you're dumb if you don't have it.
And you can do it for 30 days for free. And if you don't like it, you can just stop it.
Just try it out, guys.
But it works on all your devices. You don't have a limited amount. You go to surfshock.deals/casualpreppers. Try it for 30 days. $60. Less than $60 for 27 months. There's no better freaking VPN out there.
No, the link is in the show description, guys. Just go click it.
Yeah, it's easy as that. Done.
All right. Surfshark. All right, Cam, let's talk about some of these cool places and some of these cool companies that are helping some of these super duper Richers. Okay? Richie Richardsons.
Super duper Richards.
Yeah. Dicks. Let's talk about the Survival Condo Project. This one is super cool. This one has me.
I think this
I'm
one's
interested.
the coolest of the ones I've looked at.
If I just had
because of how
the money.
they've set up the
I know. It's really cool.
It looks really nice.
So this is basically a 15-story luxury apartment complex built in an underground Atlas missile silo in Kansas. I mean, just that right there. I mean, sign me up.
Not in Kansas anymore.
No, we're under Kansas now. The facility housed a nuclear warhead from 1961 to 1965. I mean,
it's a wet dream for every prepper.
It totally is. It was decommissioned. It has 12 private apartments now. Full floor units were advertised at $3 million.
So is it all functional now? Is it done, or are
it's
they
up
still
and done.
building?
No, it's done.
Wow,
this one is finito.
You should look at the pictures online.
Oh, it's so cool.
It looks
so cool.
Like, I like how they've made the pictures all like LED to look like you're looking outside.
It's insane.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, so you can get a full floor in this missile silo for $3 million. Just $3 million.
That's easy.
No biggie. But if you can get a half floor for half the price, $1.5 million. Right? The math adds up. So that's not bad. But I mean, you got to have a lot of money to make this like your SHTF, your bug out location, right? All units are sold except for one, and that one is the builder actually built it for him. So that's the way to do it.
He's smart.
Yeah. The silo is protected by 2 armored doors, and his epoxy-hardened concrete walls are 9 feet thick and can withstand a direct nuclear hit. A direct nuclear hit, as well as severe flooding, tornado winds, and a tribe of zombies. They say.
A tribe.
A tribe, yeah. I mean, you get more than a tribe than a maybe.
That's a northern tribe of
A
zombies.
direct nuclear hit.
That's
Holy
insane.
balls. Like, that is insane. The interior can support a total of 25 people. Or no, 75 people. Sorry, I don't read well.
Do you think the SAR bomb would still penetrate?
I don't know.
I wonder how they've figured out. And, they're pretty smart.
I mean, who would really waste,
we're gonna
let's
hit the
right in the
preppers.
middle of let's just get those guys. But I mean, even who's gonna put a nuclear bomb right on top of this thing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
I don't know. It has enough food and fuel for 5 years off the grid by raising tilapia in fish tanks, hydroponic vegetables under grow lamps.
So cool.
With renewable
Sounds like a
power.
video game.
I know.
It's
Dude, yeah, I would play this in a heartbeat. It could function basically indefinitely.
Wow.
Gosh dang, it's so cool. So rock climbing walls, and they have snooker tables. I don't know what a snooker
What's a
table
snooker
I don't know.
I'm
not even sure what it is. I just wrote it down. Hey Google, what's a snooker table?
Only the rich like snooker tables.
How good are you at snooker? Would you like to wager on a snooker game?
Come down to floor 6 for snooker tonight.
Snooker and cocktails at 7 p.m.
Just a big old announcement. I wish I could turn these announcements off.
I know.
Snooker table tonight at 5
$3 million, and I gotta listen to these snooker announcements. Good Lord. It also has a large swimming pool and a library stocked with thousands of books.
Now that's cool.
Oh yeah, man.
Books are useless, though.
But
you
you
should
can
already
burn them
know them all.
if you need to. Plus a movie theater and a dog park. They got a dog park
Of
in there
course.
and a general store. So they actually made
The
it.
general store is going to run out.
I know. No, but they made it. The way that they made it is basically you go shopping for your food every week.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of keeps you like, well, it's Monday. I got to go shopping. I got to hit the grocery store. You know what I mean? It kind of keeps your. They actually got. We'll talk about this in a minute, but they
I
got a
wonder how
psychologist.
trustworthy the architect is of that whole
I don't
thing.
know what
He's
I
like,
worry about.
Time to go shopping. Lock the doors.
Lock the doors.
Now we got floor 3, everybody.
Yeah. No, but what I wonder about is like, well, we'll talk about this in a minute. Never mind. So right here, in a crisis, his SWAT team style trucks, the Pit Bull VX armored up to 50 caliber, will pick up any owner within 400 miles. See, if you're within 400 miles, they're just going to come pick you up with this freaking armored vehicle with a 50 cal on the top of it. Residents with private...
It gets probably 1.5 miles.
Yeah, you got to stop to fuel up 6 times before you get back. Residents with private planes can land in Salina about 30 miles away.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's not bad. So they studied basically, they actually got a psychologist and they studied
that's cool.
how to avoid depression because you're down underground for 5 years, you're going to get depressed.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
I mean, you're going to get depressed if you're above ground. Most people.
Everybody's depressed right now.
So, what do? I don't know. Kill everybody. They're all going to get depressed. Nothing you can do. But they said add more lights in there, so they got a ton of lights. And they said prevent clicks because that's the thing that's going to happen is
of course.
you're going to get
it's like
these
a prison.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have the Mexicans on this side, and you're going to have the Asians over there. And
It's all segregated.
the dirty
Bad
white
idea.
the dirty white trash on this side, and they're all going to be fighting each other.
Yeah.
You could do a really great like. You always go back to like Newsies or what is it? West Side
You
Story.
always say
I
Newsies.
say Newsies. Why do I say Newsies every
I don't
time?
know.
What are you talking about?
It looks like West Side
West
Story.
Side Story. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The white people are going to
The
get
general
beat every
store's
time.
ours today.
Yeah.
Newsies.
Don't they dance
It
in
looks
Newsies?
this, oh,
I
yeah,
can't
they
remember.
Dance. They dance like there's no tomorrow on Newsies.
There might not be tomorrow in this place. For real.
Get your paper here.
A snooker game. Read all about it. Snooker championships tonight.
We own the snooker tables. Get out.
This is our snooker table. Get on out of here.
Snooker gang.
You just been snookered. Anyways, to prevent clicks, they said you got to rotate the chores. I pay $1.5 million. I'm not doing any chores, sir. I'm playing snooker 24/7. What the hell is snooker? You got to look
Do you
it up
think they
for me.
have a? I want a brochure for this place.
I know. Yeah.
Wednesdays.
You got to look up snooker for me while I read. I got to
should.
figure out what that is. So
probably
they
something.
said you got to rotate the chores. The condo walls are fitted with LED windows in quotation marks that basically they show a live video of the prairie above the silo.
So snooker is a game played with cues on a billiard table in which the players use a cue ball to pocket the other balls in order. Is it?
That's pool.
Yeah.
That's pool. Whatever.
So billiards, pool, and snooker are all the same thing.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. But it's
Snooker
pool.
tables are larger than pool tables, but the pockets are smaller than a pool table.
That's
What the freak?
there's a larger table but smaller pockets. Good luck.
Snooker is played with 15 pink numberless balls.
Pink?
Yeah, 6 numbered. It's just a rich version of.
It's pool that the rich had to change the rules to.
I ain't playing dirty pool. I'm playing snooker.
I don't like blue or yellow. Make them all pink.
Don't put that disgusting poker table or that billiard table. That's disgusting. Get me a snooker table.
Get me a snooker table or
That's
I will
interesting.
leave.
So it's basically pool, just in
Yeah.
a fancier.
Fancy pool.
It's like yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So they got
It's like the anniversary edition of pool.
yeah, exactly. They have LED windows that show a live video of the prairie outside
That's
the
what's
silo.
cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
But how would you know it's really a live feed? You know what I mean?
That's
Like
true.
they could just have like a recording that they play over and over. Look, everything looks it's horrible up there, guys. You got to stay in here.
It looks the
It's
same.
like nuclear
That
winds.
grass hasn't grown for 3 years.
Oh, it's crazy out there. I don't know. Just stay down in your snooker table.
They're just enjoying
Yeah.
they're out shooting shotguns and stuff while you're down there thinking there's a nuclear war above.
These idiots. $1.5 million.
I got all these people taking my trash out on Tuesdays.
Yeah. But the owners can also opt for pine forests or other vistas that they can look at. Yeah, I'm going with the pine forest. I don't want a Kansas prairie. You know what I mean?
I want a live feed of the snooker table.
Yeah. I just want 24/7 snooker. Snooker, ESPN 19.
Just give me a rerun of Scrubs and
the snooker championships. They also have guards outside and a sniper post, which is kind of cool.
One
but that's
sniper post?
That's
one. Easy to take that out.
Yeah, but that's what I wonder. Is like how loyal, how much do you pay them guards?
That's what I'm saying.
Stay?
There's like that, and I'm like, I don't know. You'd have to really know everything about the guy that built the thing.
Yeah, because I don't know. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. How are you going to keep guards outside when they're staying safe down in there?
No kidding.
They're all getting radiated out there, but, still watching
dead,
over.
But I got to watch over this place.
Got to work overtime. My family's all dying of radiation. Ridiculous.
They're all blistered up and like skin's charred. Got to stand post.
Friggin' paycheck's going to be badass, I'll tell you that. Nowhere to go. Taking it down to the snooker hall later on.
That's true. They don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anywhere to stay.
Yeah.
Piss.
I don't get it. Each condo offers biometric keyless access.
Ooh, cool.
Hello. 5 years worth of food. A 50-inch LED
50-inch?
TV. That's what I wondered.
And it's not even OLED?
This might have been written a while ago because I looked at that and went, that's it?
Seriously?
Full color TV.
RCA? What the hell?
What are you talking about? It's like one of those big, like wooden ones that used to sit on the floor.
Yeah,
the vacuum tube ones, whatever. And high-end kitchen with stainless
Your
steel.
money only goes so far.
Yeah, you want to pay a little more, you can get OLED. All right, so that's a survival condo project, dude. That one
is really cool.
I'm looking at it. I'm thinking about it. It's on my wish list. All right, so this is another one that actually is somewhat affordable for a normal person. This is Vivos X
Yeah,
Point.
this one's pretty cool.
So this is a former U.S. Army base consisting of 575 private military-built concrete and steel all-risk bunkers. Okay, it's located near the Black Hills of South Dakota, just south of the city of Edgemont.
Oh, Edgemont.
Yeah.
So at the edge of Edgemont.
Yeah, right on the edge of Edgemont. It's strategically and centrally located in one of the safest areas of North America, so they say, at a high and dry altitude of 3,800 feet, well inland from all large bodies of water, and 100 miles from the nearest known military nuclear target. So it's a great place to be, they say.
Yes, yeah.
Former Army munitions depot with 575 hardened concrete military bunkers. It can accommodate more than 5,000 survivalists at this place. The security team can spot anyone approaching the property from 3 miles away, and it only has one road in and one road out. 100 miles of private roads providing access to each of the bunkers, strategically aligned in countless rows and sections for as far as the eye can see. Each bunker provides enough floor area with attic potential to comfortably accommodate 10 to 24 people. Their needs supplies for a year or more of autonomous shelterization without needing to emerge outside. The comprehensive elliptical-shaped concrete bunker includes a massive front bulkhead wall with a solid concrete and steel blast door entrance. 2,200 square feet of floor space. Each bunker is buried and protected under thick berms of soil, reportedly designed and built by the Army to withstand significant blast waves while being strategically separated from the next bunker by 400 feet. So, I mean, this one is less for like the ultra rich because you're actually kind of in a big community with a lot of people. Every 400 feet or so, there's another bunker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I won't go into this too much, but let's see. On-site amenities range from a grocery store and a medical clinic to a shooting range and a hot tub spa, which I thought was kind of funny. We got a hot tub.
So
want to buy a bunker?
This is false advertising. I was just looking up. Do you remember? So Switzerland has that huge, that massive, underground bunker for like all of their.
Yeah,
it's 300,000 shelters in,
Yeah.
So liars. This isn't the biggest survival shelter community.
Well, I think that one's not private though.
No, it's government.
It's a public one, so that's probably why they're saying that.
Oh, so private, yeah. But still, I was like,
I know, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
So they also have 24/7 security with military-trained guards and camera systems. This company actually has another facility in Indiana, and they're developing the one that's in Europe, the one that you talked about.
Oh, it is, huh?
I think that's
it
them.
is that same Vivos or whatever.
So, but these ones are actually kind of affordable at $35,000 per bunker.
Oh, that ain't bad.
I know, it's really not that bad.
Furnished and everything?
No.
Yeah, I see.
You can get a furnished one. So it's $35,000 for the bunker, and then it's $1,000 a year for rent, basically. And then you can spend
$1,000 a year.
Yeah, you can spend more to get it fully furnished, or you can actually get a shared bunker for $15K.
No thanks.
Yeah, as I was saying, like that would be horrible.
I think I already feel like looking at it like bird's eye view. I'm like, I still not really love that.
No, I don't love it, but it would be a bunker, so it just and you got to get there. You'd have to live close to make that worth.
Yeah,
I don't know. So, anyways, that's Vivos X Point. That's a big one. So there's this place in Malibu. So we talked about California, right? There's a 24-acre gated development called The Case. It's going to have 5 mansions and include 24/7 security for its residents. There's a manned guardhouse and a gate with 24/7 security. Apparently, that's hard to do. They don't like gated communities near Malibu for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. The compound is also equipped to fend off another kind of disaster. Each mansion has its own water cannon to fight fires. But that makes sense in California.
All that, yeah.
Right? There's so many fires all the time. They all have water cannons.
It's being burned every
all the
second
time
of the day.
Yeah. So each of them have their own private water cannon.
That's cool.
And they have a private firefighting force that's on call all the time beyond the public firefighters, which is kind of cool.
How do they have enough water for that and to feed
directly to the Pacific Ocean? They got a pipe. It's all salt water.
As long as
I don't know. I have no idea. The first Case mansion sold for $40 million last spring, and the second is on the market for $100 million.
Holy cow!
5 homes that range from about 10,000 square feet to 12,500 square feet. So that's just kind of an idea of like
just
some
a few under my house.
That's just an idea. Like some of these rich people they're starting to move into places like this that
are fortified.
Yeah. There's so many. There's a bunch. I read a bunch of articles on these huge mansions that were like freaking insane. Like,
what do you think if we had money in our situation and mindset?
Of course,
I would be.
We would have the most insane prepper like house that's ever been built.
I know,
right? Rising S Bunkers is another company. They specialize in high-end shelters. They have a presidential model that includes a gym, a workshop, a rec room, a greenhouse, and a car depot.
And a Trump flag.
And 10 Trump flags for $500,000. So
wow, that's affordable.
Yeah, no, and they said that their unit requests increased by 700% in 2016.
So are these the ones that are pre-built? And they can put them wherever they want?
Yes. Yeah. They're basically packages.
Oh, no, that's the next one.
Yeah.
The next one, I think. No, that's a development.
No, this is a development, yeah.
I think this is the one that they build them.
Yeah.
And you can have them like buried or
installed
put wherever.
So there's also
cool.
like the Atlas.
Yeah.
Atlas shelters that do that as well, but they're more like lower scale stuff. Another place that actually doesn't exist but almost existed was called Trident Lakes, and it was in Ector, Texas. 700 acres.
Almost, they did never.
No. So the amenities were going to include a hotel, an athletic center, a golf course, and polo fields.
There we go.
It was supposed to have 600 condominiums ranging from price from $500,000 to $1.5 million, each with a waterfront view. 90% of each unit would be underground. Armed security personnel were going to be guarding the walls surrounding the community, and there was going to be helipads for people coming and going. But it never got past a statue being erected at the gate of where the complex was going to be, because they actually did put the statue up, because the guy who was building it was arrested for laundering money for a Colombian drug cartel. So the Trident Lakes never actually came to fruition. But again, these are what the ultra rich are looking for. The fact that they were gonna do it shows that there was a market for it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you want to talk about Plan B supply? I don't want to talk about it too much.
Brief. I mean, like we've mentioned them before. So this company specializes in taking like older but
Yes.
modern military vehicles, and they just like trick them out.
Oh my gosh.
And they're in Utah, which is pretty cool. We saw them at PrepperCon.
Yes.
And I mean, they have some amazing vehicles. They'll take like a Hummer and they'll just transform it into a livable like machine, and they have like trailers. They have all the high tech. Because if you can buy a basic Hummer for like $30,000, but it's just like driving a tractor.
Yeah, it's
like,
not great. They're
nothing.
horrible.
It's like a big tin box.
Yeah,
but they take them and they make them more modern. And put like a bigger comfort in them, and then they add in all the attachments.
They've got their 2021 Riot Humvee. So basically, it's a completely armored. Completely armored. It starts at $90,000.
Oh, really?
It's freaking bonkers.
They even have ones that they say start at $28,000.
Yes, they have really cheap ones. But I was just going for like the ultra rich type thing. They have those. Their 2021 Riot Humvee starts at $89,700. Wow. And then you can go in and trick it out.
People are paying that for free.
It's insane. Yeah, I know exactly.
For like a non.
Yeah.
Yeah, $278,000 for the Ricochet.
Whew, boy.
That sucker. Yeah, that thing looks sweet though.
Yeah, they've got so much cool stuff.
But yeah, anyways, these are like high-end bug-out vehicles that are completely built, customized for whatever you want.
But you got to be rich basically to get some of those.
You really
suckers,
do,
because they are they exist.
You're buying a house.
Yeah.
For the cost of this.
Yeah,
vehicle.
exactly. So, anyways, Plan B Supply, they got some really cool stuff.
The other you can go into that other one you were going to.
Sure. Okay. The thing I wanted to talk about is there's some like really high end emergency kits that a lot of these people are buying. The one that I saw, have you heard of Preppy before?
I haven't.
PREPPI. So you can go check them out at preppi.co. Apparently they couldn't afford the M. On com. Anyways, they have what they call the Prepster Ultra Advanced Fireproof Emergency Bag. So this is a bag that you can have monogram.
You can get inside?
Huh?
You can crawl inside.
No, you can't crawl inside. Basically, it's like an emergency kit for the ultra rich. Guess how much the kit is? $5,000.
Holy cow! Really?
And it's a bag you can hold in your hand. Jeez. Okay, so it's cut from Preppy custom fire and water retardant aluminum canvas and natural bridal leather. Inside, you will find essential supplies to sustain nutrition, hydration, power, and communication for 2 people with ample luxe comforts. The Prepster Ultra Advanced contains 4-count 95% filtering respirator masks. In addition, you will find food and water with a 5-year shelf life. You also find Malin and Goats tech gear, comprehensive first aid, a Garmin satellite messenger, night vision scope, BioLite solar panel, emergency charging kit with high capacity power bank, Daytrex food and water supply, Grail water purification press, we've used that before, Preppy solar and hand turbine emergency radio and phone charger, Leatherman black carbon steel multi-tool, a lantern and tactical flashlight, 4-count air respirator masks.
This all comes in that?
Yeah.
Wow.
BioLite LED headlamp, poker game kit, hydroformed black and white matte flask, Preppy canvas and leather dop kit, premium chocolate, rain ponchos for 2, space sleeping bags for 2, field notes, waterproof survival matches, candles, gloves, paracord, and a first aid kit.
Wow.
$5,000 for that thing. But you have your initials monogrammed on it, so definitely.
That's insane.
I know. So anyways, that's definitely one of those ultra rich things that like throw in their Land Rover, you know what I mean, or whatever, Range Rover. Which is the expensive ones? I can't remember.
They're all expensive. Yeah,
anyways.
I think it's the I don't know.
I don't know.
So one thing in these articles too is talking about this company called Global Rescue. They said just in this last year with all the fires and, the chaos with the election, they had like a 50% increase in subscriptions to their service. So Global Rescue, what they do is they help from the point of your emergency regardless where you are. Field rescue means that they will send help if you are unable to get to the hospital or in danger. They're like a specialized crew of ex-military special ops, nurses, paramedics, doctors, and they will like just fly directly, pick you up, take you to whatever hospital they feel is best. So
It's like Prepper Uber kind
it
of.
is. They have like super. They actually have some pretty affordable things if you're to travel.
Yeah.
So they're not travel insurance. They basically will get you out of situations and take you to safety.
Wow.
But yeah, it's fairly affordable. But the rich, they bought like these massive plans to cover themselves, basically relying on global rescue to basically get them to their bug out location.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty fascinating stuff. If you look them up on globalrescue.com, you can see membership types, and you can even set up a system if you're going to travel out of the country, which isn't a bad idea.
No, heck no.
So anyways, that's one thing that I thought was pretty cool that the uber rich are getting a lot of is these like specified companies to like rescue them and do all the part of traveling and transport.
Like their bug out plan, basically,
is,
to
yep.
call them.
Another thing that's really picked up too is private medical, which makes a lot of sense nowadays because medicine's a freaking joke.
Yeah.
United States, it's just a nightmare. So basically, you can subscribe to they have one that's called Concierge MD, and they are like your private physician or facility, and they will get you into the hospital without dealing with all the like ER and all that.
Really?
They have connections to these hospitals to where you can basically bypass the system and get the help that you need, and you can just have them come to you. So a copay, it's like $40,000.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, which is almost the same as a regular hospital.
Yeah, it's close.
Pretty close to the same, but yeah. So they have these really specific plans. There's several of them that have a team of doctors that can either just be your private physician and come to you, or they have those connections to get you in to surgery, or they can get you into the hospital without having to go through the ER and all that stuff. So it's pretty fancy. Obviously, you have to be super rich, but annual fees, they range from $40,000 to $80,000 per family.
That's bonkers,
which 10 times, more than the conventional.
Is it? That
practice.
Seems about like how much I pay for health insurance.
So a successful internist in New York or San Francisco might earn $200,000 to $300,000 per year, but the private medical pays $500,000 to $7,000 annually for a practitioner to be a private. Or they only I think per practitioner they get like 50 families, which would be a cakewalk.
Oh yeah, 50. Yeah.
And plus, rich people tend to be a lot healthier.
Yeah.
So, anyways, not only are they setting up these locations and these plans to be taken to these locations, but they have like their own private medical group.
Man.
So, anyways, pays to have money, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So just after all this that we've talked about, it makes you wonder: are they better off than we are?
Yes.
Right. But there's one thing I wanted to read. This was actually from My Patriot Supply, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Your Patriot Supply?
My Patriot Supply. Basically, there's an article about all these super duper Uber preppers. The investments these rich folks have been making require dependence on skilled operators. They need people to build and outfit their luxury condo and bunkers. They need teams to help them bug out and to secure locations. They will rely on someone for supplies, healthcare, everything you need to survive if a crisis hits. And yes, most of the time it's probably going to work out. Hopefully their money gets them that far.
Yeah.
But things can go wrong, and part of that system could break down. So without self-reliance, preparedness, and skills that we always talk about developing, then really it's not like just give up because you can't afford these luxury bunkers and stuff like that. And more or less, those skills that you learn how to take care of yourself, if it's a small bunker in the mountains by yourself, you're really not that much worse off if you've planned everything out.
Yeah, so, you're better off to know it yourself. Is kind of what they're saying, right?
Yeah. So it's like, a lot of these probably aren't taking the time to learn all these. Some of them probably are. They have the time to do it, and they read a bunch and probably do. But for the most part, the best that we can do is like have our plan in place, develop these skills, because you can't always rely on someone else to do it.
Well, that's the
for
thing.
you.
When the shit hits the fan, who's to say that Global Rescue's even going to still be around to help you?
I know.
Or like we
That
talked about.
system, EMP knocks out all that stuff. Like, you never know.
If you can't get to New Zealand, you're going to swim?
That's the thing that I would worry about
You
the
know?
most is like, I have this amazing setup, but there's a lot of things,
Yeah, a lot of things have to go right for me to get
If you
there.
lose the ability to have international airspace,
Yeah.
and they just shoot you out of the sky,
Exactly,
no
now
matter
what?
what. Like,
Yeah.
if we're in a big war, it's not going to make a difference. You're
No.
going to get shot out of the sky. So, anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you can't afford all this fancy stuff. I would love to have this fancy stuff, and they're going to be set forever if they can get to these locations. And
Yeah.
probably will. But for the most part, what we can do is learn how to do these things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Have your plan, have your food storage. You're still going to get a lot further than most.
For sure, there is no doubt.
So anyway, I just
Either
thought
way-
it was really interesting stuff.
Either way, this is all super interesting to me. Just like seeing what these rich people are doing, the ways that they're preparing for whatever kind of disaster they're preparing
I'd
for.
love to
So
sit in the
interesting.
group that they're talking about, like
Oh, I'd go nuts to do
the
that, dude.
cryptocurrency discussions.
Yeah.
And like what preps that they've, because that they have access to like testing and trying out
Oh, yeah.
fancy
For
gear.
sure.
It's like, man, that'd be pretty.
Yeah, super interesting stuff. Cam, did you know that today's podcast is brought to you by TacPack?
Oh yeah.
It is the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful, professional grade stuff inside. Use code Casual Preppers and get a free separate bag sent of EDC gear along with your first month's TacPack. Head to TacPack.com. Use our code Casual Preppers. I was just thinking about this the other day. TacPack has been with us for like 3 years. Can you believe that? It's been maybe longer than that. I don't know. It's been a long time.
They're our plan A.
Yeah,
We're
for
gonna
sure.
go straight to their company. And
For sure. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, check out TacPack, guys. Keep going. We have a quick review we'd like to do, and that is the Going Gear EDC Club. This is the snooker box.
Didn't you
Nah,
do
just kidding.
TikTok video on it?
Yeah, there's a TikTok I pushed out on this not too long ago. We have the Victorinox Swiss Army Climber. Classic Swiss Army knife.
That's
$34
did look like
value.
a total classic Swiss Army.
It's as classic as
Oh, no,
they
that's
come.
different.
It's a different one.
right here.
It's in
This
there.
is a picture of it.
And then you have the Well-Tool M6 pen light, a $20 value. That was the one you just had.
The pen light's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little pen light. They always have something different. That's what I like about
They
Going
do.
Gear. They
Stuff
always
that
have
you
something-
don't think of
Yeah.
ever. That's cool. Look at your eyes.
Yeah, a little dilated. And then we got the Exotac tool roll, $25 value. This is a cool little
Delicious tool roll.
it's like a Swiss roll, really close. But we've had one of these before that you could put like basic EDC gear in there and keep it nice and tight.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Then you got the Left Field bandana,
Oh,
$10 value. But pretty much you can use
Left
it for many
field?
things. Different, yeah. There you go. The bandanas you can use them for 1,000 things. So, oh, you look good.
name all 1,000.
Okay, I'll do it later. Grabber Mega Warmer, 18-hour hand
18
warmer.
hour?
18 hours.
Oh,
That'll last you
no,
3
that's-
weeks.
Yeah.
I bet them Texans wish they had that right now, don't they? And then they sent an
A
Eat
coffee
Your Coffee.
bite.
Yeah, they sent that. So, anyways, check out the Going Gear EDC.
Yeah, their website has
Club.
like, you just buy individual
Yeah.
pieces of gear for
It's good
super
stuff.
good price.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
So it's really hard to discuss like splinting and how it's done.
Is it?
And what way to splint and what materials to use. So
Okay.
the first thing that I would recommend doing
Toilet paper? Is that what that
is
is?
type in like, so this, you can download this little PDF picture of splinting. And I'm telling you, I use it pretty often. So you just go to 3M and you just type in
3M
splinting guide.
Splinting guide.
And you can find all the different ways to splint and how to cast and all that stuff.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
It's
There it
super
is.
useful because the different types of splints can be confusing. People are like, "Hey, get a sugar tongue on there." What?
What?
And but some of the materials that I would get for splinting purposes, and we've shown before, like the malleable aluminum types.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one main brand? It's Sam Splint.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
Yep.
just a malleable aluminum. It's padded. It makes splinting just way easier, and you can throw it in your bug out bag and backpack. The other stuff that I'd have in like my home kit is first I'd have some really thick gauze or cotton gauze for padding, because the last thing you want to do is splint up and then have to bug out, or you will wear a sore faster than you can think.
Yeah.
And so you want to pad the crap out of it, and then you put your splinting. As for the splinting material, you've got your Sam splint stuff that's kind of malleable. It's not super strong, so if you have a broken arm, you may want something a little
better.
stronger. You can buy orthoglass, and so orthoglass is what we use frequently for splinting. It's basically already it's casting material that's already wrapped in gauze. So when you pull it out of the package, it's all loose, and you can form fit it to whatever splint, and you get it wet, and then it hardens, and you already have your padding. And then you just wrap it. And the other things that I would definitely have for splinting is, so you have the cotton gauze, I would have ace bandage, I'd have Coban, and I'd have either that Sam malleable aluminum splinting material, or if you can, buy a box of 3-inch ortho glass, just because you can apply it to everything. That's what and then I would have a guide, but the 3M guide is for ortho glass, but it shows you all the different types of splints for whatever injury. So anyways, that's a quick thing on splinting.
I like it.
Get that material now.
Get it done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys listening. Can't say it enough. We appreciate all the downloads.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Keeps our life exciting.
It does.
Otherwise, it sucks.
Oh,
Boring.
gotta go home, deal with the family. Just kidding.
No, we love the family.
We do, yep. Thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed to all the places that we are, and stay survived.